Mr. Johannson, thanks for joining us. Please help our viewers understand how opening a bank account could result in a 911 call and a 12-year-old girl and her grandfather in handcuffs.
Thanks, Dennis, for, first of all, having me on your program and being able to share with your viewership what took place. Let me start off by saying, first off, we are deeply sorry for the situation that took place for Mr. Johnson and his granddaughter. It is unacceptable. It is very hurtful. We know we have created a situation where we have been disrespectful, and we have created an area, an opportunity for us to do better. We made a mistake. I want to be very clear. We should not have phoned the police department at any point in time. And as a result of that, we sparked a situation that led to uncontrollable circumstances for which we, as I said, are apologetic to Mr. Johnson and his granddaughter. We have been working over the past few weeks at taking the situation very seriously, reaching out to Mr. Johnson and apologizing, looking to continue on the conversation with him, to be able to speak to him and resolve the matter, to be able to create reconciliation. We've also engaged in hundreds of conversations with customers and our employees in the Indigenous community to get their wisdom, their knowledge, to hear what they're feeling, what they're thinking, and giving us guidance as to how we approach the situation. We have also met with the leadership of the Heiltsuk Nation to be able to speak to them and help understand how we can reconcile this situation. As I said, we are deeply embarrassed by this situation, and we're looking to rectify it. We had 2 customers come into our branch to be able to set up an account. And as a result of what we triggered by calling the police, we've set up a situation which we are apologetic for, and we want to make full restoration in this matter.
So can you elaborate, though, on the alleged fraud that was apparently taking place that led to the 911 call?
Yes, so every opportunity we have when we open an account, our standard practice is to get ID, photo ID, to be able to verify the individuals and set up the account. That's our normal process. In our process of doing that, we validate identification. And in that, we found that there were some serious issues and concerns with the validation, the identification. We should have, at that point, stopped the conversation and not called the police department. That is our error, that's our mistake, and that's what we're apologizing for today, and will continue to apologize for and seek to make it right with Mr. Johnson and his granddaughter.
The police are now saying that the bank misled them. What do you say to that?
We are concerned right now on what we do going forward. And so our intent is to apologize, to make restitution, and to be able to make sure this never happens again. As part of that, we've been setting up and accelerating our program around getting advice and guidance. And you've probably read in our press release that we have set up an Indigenous council for us to get advice so that we can ensure it doesn't happen again, but also more importantly that we can accelerate our journey on the truth and reconciliation work that needs to happen on 92, which is really focused on making sure we have a better cultural understanding of our Indigenous communities, that we're embracing education and training, and that we're ensuring that we're accelerating the journey for healing and restoration. That's our focus, and we have 8 great leaders in the Indigenous community that are joining us right now that are going to give us guidance, have started giving guidance to us even as the other day, to be able to ensure that we are doing the work of healing and restoration and accelerating the journey that we want to be on as a community.
So, I mean, you're admitting this was wrong. Why has it taken nearly a month for somebody at the institution to speak about it?
We have taken this matter extremely serious, and we started off with our priority to be able to apologize first to Mr. Johnson and his granddaughter. There's no question what they experienced was serious. It was harmful. It was devastating. We are embarrassed about it. We know that we need to do better. And as a result of that, we had our conversations with the Indigenous community. We sought to speak to them first, seek guidance and wisdom understand what needed to be done, to be able to meet with our teams and really understand the facts of the matter so that we are effective in addressing the situation, and also to be able to set up our guidance going forward with this council. And we are focused on saying, how do we progress together? And we look forward to doing that with our Indigenous Council advisors.
So you've spoken directly with Mr. Johnson and have apologized personally to him?
Yes. Shortly thereafter, after the event, when we were made aware of what transpired, we reached out and communicated and apologized directly. We want to continue to apologize. We want to continue to meet. We want to continue to have a conversation about what is possible for restoration. You know, if I step back, this is a situation for us as a team that we're embarrassed about. We want to make this right. We don't want this to ever happen again. We were the spark of something that affected two wonderful human beings, and we want to make that right.
The Indigenous Advisory Council and the sharing circles haven't exactly been met with applause online. People are cutting up their BMO bank cards. Are there any other measures the bank is planning to take?
As I said, we are going to do our very best through this time frame to continue to reach out for restoration. We're going to continue to focus on getting this right, to be able to accelerate a journey to ensure that more customers understand how more of our customers are able to work with us in helping us create a better place, to be able to focus clearly on the path forward. And I keep coming back to what we want to do on the truth and reconciliation. We want to focus in on accelerating the journey of what a corporation can do around Indigenous cultural understanding. We want to ensure we are an employer of Indigenous community. We are have a clear history of doing that. For over 30 years, we've been focused on building our communities by supporting investment in Indigenous communities, by being able to provide community giving. We continue to be focused in that space, and we are genuinely looking to accelerate that as we go forward, not just for the banking industry, but for corporate Canada as a whole.
Was there any action taken against the employee who made the 911 call?
As I said, this was a mistake that we are all at BMO taking full accountability for. We recognize that all of us could do better, and we want to ensure that this never happens again.
Mr. Johannson, we'll have to leave it there. Appreciate you taking some time for us here today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.